Hi, my name is David. Today we're going to do number 153 for count good triplets. This is an easy level problem on LeetCode, and we're going to solve it in JavaScript. So basically, we're given an array, and they want to know the return. They want us to return a count of how many good triplets there are, and the good triplets are when these indexes, these three indexes within array I, j, k, meets these conditions using these A, B, and C as something to compare with. It, this is kind of confusing understanding what it is. When I was looking at the example, I was trying to substitute it in to try to figure out what it means and what makes it a good triplet. But basically, it doesn't really matter what when you test out the example. We just have to use this code as a condition, and just if the condition is met, we just increase the count for it. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend like really trying to substitute in them in, trying to understand it. Just go straight forward with using these conditions for your code. So how we're gonna solve this is that first, and it was kind of confusing given the amount of dislikes it has, but it's still solvable. So first thing we want to do is create a count variable. Next we want to do is loop through our and then so that's going to get the I, index of I. And now we're going to do j, and we know that j has to be greater than I. So inside of this loop, we're going to do a nested loop, loop through R again. And then once you do that, we know that k, this index of k, in this k index of R has to be in it. So it will be another nested loop inside of this loop through R again. So three nested loops. I know it's not the fastest code, but it's how this problem is solved. And now, once we get through this, we have to create conditions to create condition, create condition to see if it's a good triplet. And if it is, we increment count. So these conditions is just pretty much we're copying and pasting this into the math, the absolute value of index minus each other, the difference, the absolute value of the difference between these two variables. And now, lastly, we return count. So let's begin putting in code. So first, we create the count variable, that count, and it starts at 0. After that, we loop through R. I equals 0. I is less than R dot length. I plus plus. And now we do a nested loop for the j equals I plus 1. So we know it has to be greater than it. J is less than R dot length, J plus plus. And now we do another loop for let K equals J plus 1. K is less than R dot length, K plus plus. Okay, and now on this, we do the conditions. So if math dot apps, let's copy this, is less than or equal to A, and math dot apps less than or equal to B, and math dot apps less than or equal to C, then we know we increment the count. And after that, we do that, we return, and we should get it. And then I'm going to clean this up in a second. Great, we got it. So there's a way we can optimize this a little bit, because we know that this first if conditions matters before we get to K. So we can put it in front of it. If copy that, cut that, paste in there, get rid of this, put a curly brackets, indent, 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 indent. Just making sure it's good. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, it's a small optimization, and then submit. Great, we got it. So for the complexity, so then since we're doing 3 nested loops within this one R array, it's going to be O of n to the third power. I know, crazy. And then space complexity could be O of 1, since we're using constant space for this variable. So that is how you solve this problem. Thank you.